So over on that hill over there, there's a tiny little cabin, which is where I proposed to Tabor. I proposed, she says yes, it's a great moment, have all that. We walk back and there's an outhouse up there without a door, and he just leans out of the front, sitting on the toilet. I knew it!
And then I proceeded to do their engagement photo shortly.
Yes, yes.
Gravel races are a dime a dozen, so why come to KowTown Gravel? Well, 2 reasons. The people and the place. The spectacular Grand County way up high here in Colorado. And yes, the people behind KowTown Gravel do have a couple hundred head of cattle on their ranch, which the course runs right through. Come along for the ride as we check out the courses of KowTown Gravel 2025. KowTown Gravel is put on by Blane Day, who is now retired and enjoys riding his bike up here in Kremling, and the Scholl family, who are unique in that they are both endurance athletes and multi-generational Colorado ranchers.
I'm 4th generation and my kids are 5th generation.
Why put on a bike race? It seems like you're plenty busy running a ranch, running a coffee shop.
We have some really good terrain around here, and I've always put on races, running races, Nordic ski races, rowing races. And the next phase, was gravel races, you know, because it's like we have a lot of good gravel, and I like to share.
Today we're out here riding with the Scholl family. Sean Scholl, AKA Big Shooter, and his children and elite runners, Tyler and Tabor. Tabor is a professional trail runner, as is her husband, Eli. Eli Hemming last year won the UTMB. Ultra Trail Mount Blanc, effectively the World Championships of trail running. The Scholls also run the best coffee shop ice cream spot in town, Big Shooters.
Who knows, you know, my grandpa might roll over in his grave if he knew, like, if I was sending 500 people through the ranch. Be like, what are you doing? But
what do your ranching buddies think of you inviting a bunch of weirdos in stretchy pants to descend on the very quiet, very bucolic, beautiful area?
Being a rancher helps because, you know, I'm not like a hobby rancher. We have close to 200 head of cattle. So I'm looked at as a legitimate rancher that has a problem with aerobic exercise.
Sure.
Yeah, so, you know, that all probably stemmed from a cardiac rehab background where I worked with cardiac patients. So I really try to promote movement and however that looks for people. I think we're meant to move, and this is just another avenue to express that, yeah.
How about how we are meant to move? Like, one fun thing to discuss, argue about, celebrate is that how hard gravel racing can be. You've got 3 different courses. You've got the calf, you've got the cow, you've got the bull. The bull this year is 100 miles, 10,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
All at elevation. How hard is what's the right amount of hard for you as a rider? And what's the right amount of hard for you as a promoter when you're inviting a bunch of different people to your ranch and the area around?
I think you run the risk of getting a reputation of putting on too hard of things. I used to put on a ski race that was like 80K up on Rabbit Ears Pass, and it was just hard, but I think it's something for everyone, and I think it, yeah, and you combine altitude with elevation, it is going to be hard. But I think people out there, they like to do things hard. They don't necessarily like to be scared. So we've tweaked the courses this year. They are still challenged, but I think they're less you know, scary in terms of descents.
What I like about all gravel races in general, and yours in particular, is you can get in where you can fit in. You can scale the challenge to what's appropriate to you in terms of like what time you've got to train or what just feels right at the time. So you can start off with the shorter one, or you can go for the bigger one, or you can hit the Goldilocks right in between, and you still get all of this.
Yeah, and we're really willing to accommodate those people that maybe thought they were ready for that, and I'm like, hey, please, we encourage you to scale down. If you don't, you know, everyone has ambitions, and then it comes race day and they're like, I haven't been riding, maybe I should do the cow or the calf. But I'm not, you know, there's the bull is challenging, but we certainly have a population of racers that are more than capable of handling that.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
So,
last year Alex Howes took the win there.
For sure.
Guy that
World Tour,
did races like Tour de France, etc., and is now
Yeah.
making his profession as a gravel racer. And you and Alex Howes' father raced together.
Yeah,
once
we were on
upon
a
time.
yeah we were on a team called Big Shooters back in the '90s, and it's like we all had kids, and now their kids are racing, and it's kind of come full circle. It's just kind of cool because his dad's coming back, and another. I might have 3 old teammates that we reconnect.
Yeah.
We reconnect through gravel, and to me, it's every level, like flat pedals to carbon bikes and power meters, and so we really encourage people to, if they just want to try it,
Yes.
we have a distance that's a good beginner distance. We'll have plenty of aid stations, and so it should be a fabulous party in the park. We got like 4 bands.
Wow, cool.
And we actually have homegrown beef and veggie burgers, but it's locally sourced meat.
Okay.
So people really like that. I think 3 things to make a good event is first and foremost, you have to have good courses.
Sure.
You can't screw up the timing, because that's why people race. They want quantification to
Yes.
compare.
Yes.
And then you got to have a good party. Like, people don't want like more sugar necessarily. They want like something wholesome,
Yeah.
savory at the end.
Yeah.
And I think if you do those three things right, you're going to have a successful event. And we have fabulous fireworks on Friday night off the cliffs. If you've never seen those in Kremlin, they're so if people come early, it kind of tided. That's people like, why did you do it on the 4th? Well, we didn't want to jump on another race's date.
Sure.
Because there's
play well with your neighbors.
play well with the neighbors.
Because you like going and doing other people's events, right?
Exactly, yeah. We'll have a dinner the night before at the high school and we'll have showers available for free after the race, free parking, free camping. We're just trying to be accommodating, because obviously Kremlin can't house a lot of people. So a little bit later start time, just to allow some people that are going to drive in the day of the race.
Yep. Eli, Tabor, and Tyler all train up here in the high elevation of the mountains and put in a fair amount of hours here on the ranch.
There's nothing quite like it. It's definitely a hidden gem in Colorado. The dirt roads are endless, and obviously the views are pretty dang good. We have some of the best dirt roads I think you can find in Colorado.
Tell us about the traffic. How many cars have we seen today?
Today, so far, I think we've seen... Ooh, we did see one, actually. I was going to go for the 0, but we did see one. We saw 1 car.
The Scholl family, as you might have gathered, is a competitive bunch, both on the international running competitive stage and just within the family themselves.
Yeah, this is like Carcass Alley. You'll ride this and there's always pieces of a deer. You always want to bring someone slower with you on a run.
Okay, so my parents' driveway is like 400 meters down, and as kids, they used to kick us out at the bottom and say, run home. Didn't matter the weather, didn't matter the day. We'd be like, it's snowing. And my mom would pull out a jacket and be like, here you go. We'd be like, it's dark. And they're like, we'll drive behind you with the headlights on.
So that kind of upbringing, you either grew up to be very bitter or a professional runner, it turns out.
There you go. They were really rolling the dice. Like, you can love it or you can hate it. And then we did the presidential fitness test, and I was like, I won the 800. I think I'm good at this.
Where are we, sir, and what is this location? What is the historical marker state here?
I had to up one Tabor and Eli, so I decided to get married about a mile higher in that hay meadow right there. I made the impossible possible. Right, Tabor?
I'm not going to talk about it.
She's still salty. It's
No.
because she doesn't know how to drive a stick.
Well, no outhouse in this field for a sibling to ambush someone.
That is true. That is true. And then there's the cabin where they proposed to one-up me again.
And you can
I'm sensing a theme with this family.
You can even see a little outhouse right
Yeah, you can see the outhouse on the right. The best dump you'll ever take.
What was it like growing up out here in Kremlin, Colorado?
Yeah, it was really different just because the place that we grew up wasn't very athletically motivated. And so we had to learn as kids to live in the balance of like the ranch style, and then I like to call it the lycra wearing style, and kind of always knowing that we were different, but different was fun. And that means that we got to, like, I don't know, see everything in a different light, because you saw it in how you were agriculturally seeing it and then how you were recreating. Yeah. So usually it's like, get up in the morning early, do your chores, make sure like everything on the ranch at the first thing in the morning is kind of ticked off. And then we go and do our training, and then we come back, and if there's any other projects that need done, you do those. And then if you have the motivation, you go and train again. And so sometimes, yeah, training's really tired, and that's okay.
Give me an example of a ranch chore you need to check off. Yesterday, Tyler, your brother, was pulling a calf out of a creek.
Yep.
And had to rebuild the chainsaw to cut some branch. So I know there's not a set regimen. It's not like working in, say, Shooter's coffee shop. But what's an example of a ranch chore?
Example is like fixing fence. So you know that this is your nicest time of year before the mosquitoes come out. So you're gonna go get your wire and your fence post driver, and you're gonna go make sure that none of the snow put any of the fences down. And so, yeah, it's a lot of upper body strength. You can tell by my massive muscles.
Look at those guns.
They're pretty big. Yeah, that, or right now it's irrigating. So we're trying to get all of our meadows green. So it's chipping ditches, making sure water's going where it's supposed to go. But it's an ever evolving chore. So no point of the season looks the same, which kind of makes it fun.
Shooter, tell us about the aid stations we have here in CowTown.
I think we're at 9,300 feet. Yeah, so it's a good place, good scenic place for aid station after the little climb we made you go through.
So we've got an aid station at the top of Grouse, the big climb on the
for the long course,
route.
the bull course, there'll be, and that's at 10,000. And then the aid station here will be for the 68 and the cow and the bull course. Kind of a local flair. We have some characters that'll be up here that, like, it's kind of like the cowboy aid station. They all have a little bit of an agricultural upbringing, which is cool because, it's a whole nother vibe for them. They can't fathom that people would actually ride a bicycle 1,800 feet to get here. So it's kind of, I think it's neat because we're involving the whole community in this event, people that have nothing to do with cycling. So I think that helps everyone maybe understand everybody else a little better.
Agreed. And conversely, for a lot of gravel races, I don't know the exact breakdown of your registration list, but many of us are coming from cities and towns where we're not interacting with ranchers on a day-to-day basis, at least beyond just like passing each other on the road. So stopping and enjoying a Snickers bar together is
and they like it because they actually get a visit with these folks, and there's, we'll have people from all over the country here. And I think our median age for this race last year, we had almost 670 folks. And the average age was probably 52, 53. So it's an older demographic for sure. But we had, it's going to be a challenge certainly for anyone coming from sea level, but just slow down, take in the view, and enjoy the aid station.
Plenty of views to take in. You've raced your bike all over the world. What's it like riding bikes up here in Grand County?
I have, and it is amazing. The vistas, the mountains, the prairies, the plains, the cows, you got it all here.
All the things. What's the choice of rubber? You're on the Lauf, you got plenty of clearance. What would you recommend folks put on for CowTown?
Yeah, I would say run at least a 45 is what I would recommend. If you can go bigger, even better. There are some steep climbs and a little loose in sections, but for the most part, 45 and above, good to go. The surface around here in Kremling that we've been riding, it goes from champagne gravel to a little bit of off-road MMR feel, a little bit of a low maintenance road. Shooter actually just carved this road out on the course and got the tiller out, got the cows going, so that's got some nice fresh dirt. There's also a little bit of some chunkier, just loose rock. But for the most part, you're gonna encounter pretty much everything on this course, from pavement to cow fields.
The guy who lives here, What's the bike of choice? What's the tire of choice?
Well, I'm riding a 2.1 Mescal because I want to be like Alex Howes when I grow up. You know, the trend is to go a little bit bigger, a little less air pressure. Certainly, you could ride it on 40s, but I would go a little wider.
Tell us about the courses, if you would, one by one. So we'll start with the calf. There's the calf, the cow, and the bull. What is the calf course?
So the calf course this year, we modified it. We shortened it a little, added a little bit more gravel without the big, hard, gnarly climbs. I think it has around 2,300 feet of climbing. Then the cow has 68 miles, and we give you this climb that goes up through the ranch, which is only open one time a year for this event. And then, of course, the bull, we add in another 2,500 foot climb up Grouse Mountain before doing the last climb up through the ranch. So it has approximately 10,000 vert over almost 100 miles.
Big thanks to the Grand County Tourism Board for helping put on this fine event. Visit Grand County is the website, and a good slogan. I encourage you to come visit Grand County. And July 5th, the date of CowTown Gravel this year, is a fine time to do so. I'll put links to all the information you need in the video description down below. Hope that you can make it for the race. If you're in a part of the world where that just isn't in the cards, I hope that watching the riding here has inspired you to get out wherever you are and enjoy the ride.